Okay, we're going to be talking about how to ace any coding exam, specifically a pen and paper exam. All of my next videos are going to be specifically about Python, but this is more of a generalized how to ace any coding exam. The first thing that you're going to want to do, and especially when you're studying, is let's use this blue. Number one. Ooh, that does not look nice. Number one. I have no idea why it's doing that. One. You want to start using pen and paper. Or whatever program they're going to make you use. Fill in the use, guys. Okay. And this is because when you go on pen and paper and you start using pen and paper, especially if you have a pen and paper exam, you don't have the code catching your errors, telling you have a syntax error, telling you have this error, telling you have that error. That doesn't exist in pen and paper. It's just you writing your code, and then you check over your own code to see if you filled everything in. And this is where number 2 comes in. Okay? 2. After you write that code, you want to check your code. Right? Check your code. Type it in into some kind of coding platform. But, and this is where you guys need to really be careful, but don't use a platform that autofills. What do I mean by this? Some platforms, like if I were to go and open up Spider here, which is commonly used, if I were to write, for example, print, okay, and I would have to go open bracket. Oh, I only pressed bracket once, but it gave me 2 brackets already. I'm going to press quotation once. Oh, it gave me 2 quotations. Same thing happens, and this is where people really mess up. It's with if and for statements. So an if statement goes like, for example, if x is equals to 1, and then we can say x equals 1, just so we have a variable, right? If, watch what happens. I'm going to press enter. Oh my god, where did that colon come from? Let me go back. Okay, I'm going to press enter again. Right now there is no colon. I press enter and the colon suddenly appears. This is important because this colon is what makes your program either run or not. Right? So make sure that you're using a program that doesn't automatically fill, so that when you go to type in whatever you did on pen and paper, it doesn't automatically fill in the colon, it doesn't automatically fill in the brackets. That way you know truly how you did and where you have all your errors. So for Python specifically, I would say wholeheartedly use idle. Okay? Use idle. Use a program that does not autocorrect. Okay. 3. When writing 3. When writing the exam, break down the questions. Okay? Because there is always some kind of base function that they are going to give you, and then there are going to be add-ons to that base function. Okay? So for example, let's say they gave you a question and it says, write a program that takes a user input of a number guess, for example, and compares it to a random integer. Okay? Over here, we have a couple of different functions that we have to look at. So we have a user input. Highlight the important words. A user input, number guess, and random integer. Okay? So the basic thing, if I don't remember how to get a user input, code everything else. Don't let that stop you. Skip that. Be like, get user input, and leave that blank if need be, if you don't remember. And then you can keep going and be like, okay, this is comparison. And then you can write the rest of your code, which might or might not look something like if guess is equal to x, and x would be equal to random, then whatever happens, right? You can leave that blank. At least you get partial marks. I'm going to go ahead and delete all this because it wrecks my feng shui. Okay, let's keep going. Always write something down. 4. And okay, and this is kind of an expansion of number 1, and it's a little bit more optional. It's not the most important thing, but it's, you have to remember that humans are marking your test. So the easier it is for them to mark it, the more likely you are to get partial marks. Okay? So if I had, and I'm going to do this in different color because this is optional, 5, okay? Come up with a system. And you can even write this at the beginning of your test or the beginning of your exam sheets or answer sheets and be like, this equals tap slash indent. You can be like, equals comment. You can even use different colored pens and different colored pencils so that people know what they're looking at. Okay? Oh, we didn't delete everything here. So when you have this kind of format, and then when you go and write your exam answers, and then they look something like da 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 code, and then you go, makes it easier for people to understand, read, and mark. Remember, these are humans again. If they don't understand your code, you're not getting the mark, even if your code technically was correct, right? They are obviously going to try to be accommodative of the fact that, not everybody's going to write the code the same way. But if you make it easier, you're more likely to get better partial marks or even get a full mark because they actually understood what you're writing, okay? And as I said again, if need be, and if you can, use a different color for these different crucial steps. So, for example, let's say your comments will always be in a blue as opposed to the rest of your code, which will always be in black, right? It makes it easier. There's no such thing as a Scantron in a paper and pen exam because your handwriting might be illegible. So, no Scantrons used. It's a TA checking it. So, if you can, color code it and make sure that your writing is actually legible. And then we're going to go back to 6. Okay, this one actually I'm going to leave it in purple too. 6, this is just to save you time. Leave space at the top. Okay? You might start writing your code and you might start writing the function, and then you might notice that you would need to add, for example, import random. Right? In the middle of your code. If you don't have space at the top of your code, then you're going to have to cram that and they might not be able to tell what it is. So always leave a little bit of space at the top of your code so that if need be, you can add import whatever or the use of something else. Maybe you need to add another function. Maybe you need to set your turtle up differently. Yada, yada, yada. Leave a little bit of space on top. Okay? And those tips should be sufficient to get you at least towards studying properly and writing your exam properly. The rest of it is understanding the actual material, understanding the content, and then doing practice to understand how that different type of function or different type of input can be used in different ways. Because remember, on an exam, they're going to ask you a lot of inquiry and application questions to make sure that you truly understand what you're doing. Because coding isn't a memory based system, it's an application based science. So you need to remember how everything works so that in the case that they give you a question that isn't clear what they're asking, you can, of course, write down what is clear and then you can figure out how to get the end result of the code the way that you want to. Okay? If they don't specify, for example, use lists or use variables or use yada, 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 do it the way you're most comfortable. Do it the way you're most comfortable. And that's it. That should get you through your first coding exam.